Hello and welcome to the Road to 2024, Episode 3, The Road to New Jersey and New York City Primaries. Congressman Jeff Van Drew has announced that he will be running in 2021 in the New Jersey governor race. The congressman was once a Democrat. He was elected a Democrat back in 2018. But broke with the party over the issue of the impeachment over Donald Trump, the current president Donald Trump, and he switched to the Republican Party. Has seen his popularity even grow even further from that. We have another poll from the 2021 New Jersey governor Republican primary. Thomas MacArthur leads the pack with 38%. The recently entered Congressman Jeff Van Drew has 30%. Comedian Joe Piscopo at 19%, and the 2017 nominee Jack Ciattarelli at 9%. The first New Jersey Republican debate has occurred, and we now have the On the Issues poll. When it comes to the issue of corporate tax, Congressman Tom MacArthur leads. When it comes to the budget, Tom MacArthur leads. Unemployment, Jack Ciattarelli is actually favored in that department. When it comes to the issue of the coronavirus, Joe Piscopo is favored. When it comes to the issue of Black Lives Matter movements, Joe Piscopo is favored. When it was asked who they thought won the debate, it was a clear tie between Congressman Tom MacArthur and comedian Joe Piscopo. The first New Jersey Democratic debate has occurred last night. We have the results from the On the Issues poll between the top two candidates who showed up. When it came to the issue of expanded sick days, Ross Baraka was favored. When it came to the issue of healthcare, Ross Baraka was favored. When it came to the issue of BLM movements, Ross Baraka was heavily favored. When it came to the issue of property taxes, Governor Murphy was favored, as well on the issue of the coronavirus. When we asked who they thought had won the debate, they clearly thought Newark Mayor Ross Baraka had won the debate handedly. We have a poll out of the 2021 New Jersey gubernatorial Republican primary. Thomas MacArthur leads the pack with 37%. Jeff Van Drew is second with 30%. Joe Piscopo with 22%. And 2017 nominee Jack Ciattarelli at 9%. The third New York City mayoral Democratic debate has occurred last night, and we have the On the Issues poll results. When it came to the issue of the housing shortage, former HUD Secretary Sean Donovan was favored. When it came to the issue of rioting, entrepreneur Andrew Yang was favored. When it came to the issue of climate, Diane Morales was favored. When it came to the issue of criminal justice, entrepreneur Andrew Yang was favored. When it came to the issue of education, Diane Morales was favored. Now, when we asked who they thought had won the debate, it was clear that it was a clear tie between Morales and Yang, as those two had a pretty good night at the debate. We now have our next 2021 New York City mayoral Democratic primary poll. As we can see, Diane Morales leads the pack with 30% of the vote. Former HUD Secretary Sean Donovan in second with 24% of the vote. Entrepreneur Andrew Yang at 18% of the vote. President Eric Adams at 9% of the vote. And Councilor Corey Johnson at 7% of the vote. Saline CEO Bob Hugin has announced his intention to run in the 2021 New Jersey gubernatorial race. He is the fifth Republican in the race currently, and he is very favored. He was rumored to be in the 2017 race before he declined, but it looks like he will be running this time. We have our next New Jersey Republican primary poll, as we now can see that Jeff Van Drew is currently leading the pack with 32%. Thomas MacArthur, who was the frontrunner, is now at 30%. Bob Hugin, newly entered Bob Hugin, is at 17%. Joe Piscopo is at 16%. And Ciattarelli once again dropping, but this time down to 4%. We have our 2021 Virginia gubernatorial poll between the top two candidates, Attorney General Mark Herring and former Congressman Denver Riggleman, the nominees from both their respective parties. Herring leads by 10.4 percentage points. He currently has a huge lead. Herring is leading 50% Riggleman's 40%. Former Assemblyman Jack Ciattarelli has announced the end of his 2021 campaign. After low polling numbers, he has decided to drop out, seeing that he has no path to the nomination. The second New Jersey Republican debate has occurred, and we now have the On the Issues poll results. When it came to the issue of sustainable growth, Jeff Van Drew was favored. When it came to the issue of transparency, Joe Piscopo was favored. When it came to the issue of immigration, Congressman Jeff Van Drew was favored. When it came to the issue of the coronavirus, Jeff Van Drew was favored. When it came to the issue of education, Jeff Van Drew was favored. Now, when we asked who they thought had won the debate, it was clear that Jeff Van Drew was heavily favored, though Joe Piscopo was not far behind. 30% thought Jeff Van Drew had won said debate. We now have another New Jersey Republican primary poll. Jeff Van Drew still leading the pack with 33%, Joe Piscopo in second with 22%, Tom MacArthur at 20%, and Bob Hugin dropping to 14%. We now have some second choice polling results for each of the candidates in the New York City mayoral race. When it came to the second choice for Diane Morales voters, Sean Donovan is at 35%, Andrew Yang is at 33%, Eric Adams is at 19%, and Corey Johnson is at 11%. When it came to the second choice for Sean Donovan supporters, Diane Morales was at 31%, Andrew Yang was at 37%, Eric Adams at 19%, and Corey Johnson at 13%. When it came to the second choice for Andrew Yang supporters, Diane Morales was overwhelmingly supported with 53%, Sean Donovan at 19%, Eric Adams with 15%, and Corey Johnson at 13%. The second choice for Eric Adams voters, Diane Morales at 34%, Sean Donovan at 28%, Andrew Yang is at 25%, and Corey Johnson at 13%. The second choice for Corey Johnson voters, Diane Morales at 30%, Sean Donovan at 34%, Andrew Yang at 29%, and Eric Adams at 70%. Or excuse me, 7%. The second New Jersey Democrat debate happened last night. We have the On the Issues poll results. When it came to the issue of real estate, Governor Murphy was favored. When it came to sustainable growth in the state, Governor Murphy was favored. When it came to the state economy, Governor Murphy was favored. When it came to gun violence, Mayor Baraka was favored. When it came to the issue on jobs, it was split 50-50 between the two candidates. Now, when it was asked who they thought had won the debate, it is clear that Governor Phil Murphy had done better in this debate, though he had not a lot of voters think Murphy did better than voters that think Baraka did better. There's not that big of a divide. We now have the 2021 Virginia gubernatorial poll update for the first of every month. Mark Herring currently leading with 51% of the vote. Denver Riggleman is behind very much with 38%. There are a lot of undecided voters in this race, however. We have another update 1 month later. Mark Herring leads with 49% as Denver Riggleman has campaigned vigorously and is now at 42%. The third New Jersey Republican debate has happened last night. We have the results from the On the Issues poll. When it came to the issue of gun laws, Bob Hugin was favored. When it came to the issue of the state economy, Jeff Van Drew was favored. When it came to the issue of jobs, Jeff Van Drew was favored. When it came to the transit in the state, it was Bob Hugin had a lead and was most favorable on the issue. When it came to the issue of retirement funds, Jeff Van Drew was favored. When it was asked who they thought had won the debate, it was narrow, but voters feel like Jeff Van Drew had won the debate. Bob Hugin should also see a bump up in the polls as he had a much better debate performance this time around than he did back in the second debate. The third New Jersey Democrat debate has occurred last night, and we have the results from the On the Issues poll. When it came to the issues of women's rights, Governor Murphy was favored. Lower college costs, Mayor Baraka was favored. When it came to affordable home ownership, Ross Baraka was favored. When it came to the issue of healthcare, Ross Baraka was favored. When it came to the issue of drug addiction, Ross Baraka was favored. When it was asked who they thought had won this debate, a lot of people felt like Ross Baraka was the winner of the debate, though not many people differentiated. Similar to the last debate where Murphy narrowly won the debate, Baraka is now narrowly winning the debate. We have the next New Jersey Republican primary poll. Frontrunner Jeff Van Drew is at 34%, Thomas MacArthur at 20%, Joe Piscopo also at 20%, and Bob Hugin at 18%. In the 2021 New Jersey Democratic primary, we now have polls closing for both primaries in New Jersey. Phil Murphy currently narrowly leading above Ross Baraka, 6.1 percentage points. This is going to be a close primary, as a lot of people have predicted, which is never a good sign for incumbent governors. The Republican primary, we have a call. Jeff Van Drew is the winner. Though more votes are going to be coming in, but we can't make a projection that Jeff Van Drew has won the Republican nomination for the governor race, as he has overperformed polls by over 10 points, which is a shock to many. Jeff Van Drew, the clear frontrunner since, well, not since day one, but since, well, early in his campaign, has handedly won the nomination. Breaking news, we now have updates out of the New Jersey Democratic primary. Phil Murphy still leads. He's at 48%. He has a 3.4% lead over Ross Baraka. The gap is narrowing, but Phil Murphy is currently leading. Breaking news, we have updates out of the Democratic primary in New Jersey. Phil Murphy has broken 50% in the vote, though he has a 4.2% lead. The gap is now not narrowing, but it's being widened apart by Murphy when the votes are now being tallied in, and Murphy is leading Mayor Baraka. Breaking news, we have an update from the Democratic primary in New Jersey, and we can make a call that Governor Phil Murphy has won renomination. He has won 52.8% of the vote to Ross Baraka's 46.9%, though this could change, but we now can make the projection that Governor Murphy will be able to win renomination, though will he be able to win re-election come November? We don't know. Congressman Jeff Van Drew and Governor Phil Murphy win party nominations. Jeff Van Drew handily won his, though Governor Phil Murphy narrowly won his, which could be a sign of things to come. Commissioner Frank Eldeblood has announced a 2022 New Hampshire Senate bid. He's the first Republican to throw his hat into the ring to challenge Senator Maggie Hassan. Could he be successful? We don't know, though a lot of pundits are saying 2022 could end up being a major blue wave. We now have governor poll updates for both Virginia and New Jersey. Mark Herring currently leading over Denver Riggleman, 51% to 44%. A lot of pundits are marking the Virginia governor race are likely to safe blue at this point, though it could change as Denver Riggleman has been campaigning hard. He has campaigned more than Herring has, though Herring has kept his lead over Ringelman. Out of New Jersey, a lot of undecided voters, but Phil Murphy leads 49% to Jeff Van Drew's 42%. Of New Jersey, a relatively blue state, but it has shown signs of trending red in the past, though we don't know if this could be a sign of things to come, though. In Kentucky in 2019, Matt Bevin won 52% of the vote, similar to Phil Murphy, and he lost the election, which is a worrying sign for the Murphy campaign. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy has announced his re-election bid for the 2022 governor race. Mike Dunleavy has announced that he will be running for governor in 2022 again. State Senator Janet Peterson has announced her 2022 Iowa gubernatorial campaign. She is the fourth or fifth Democrat to throw her hat into the ring. A lot of congressmen and women, a lot of senators from the state throwing their hat in the ring for a chance to unseat Kim Reynolds in what could possibly be the biggest blue wave that America has seen in a long time. We now have the 2021, well, polls are now closing for the mayoral primaries in New York City, and the Republican primary, Bill Pepitone, is handedly the winner in the Republican primary. We didn't cover this race much because Bill Pepitone kept polling very high above Curtis Sliwa, but it looks like he underperformed by roughly 10 to 8 percentage points, which is not a good sign for his campaign. Now, when it comes to the Democrat side of things, this is going to be ranked choice voting. We have the results from the first round. Sean Donovan is at 30%, Andrew Yang is at 23%, Diane Morales is at 22%, Eric Adams at 11%, and Corey Johnson, who will be eliminated within the next round, is at 6%, as we are now going to count the ballots for the second round. Breaking news, the second round vote count has ended, and we now have the results from the second round. Sean Donovan still leading with 31% of the vote. Andrew Yang is still in second. He was polling in third place, but could the second of choice vote lead him into first, or the third, fourth, fifth? We don't know, but he is at 29% of the vote. Diane Morales is at 24%, who was the front runner in almost all of the polls, but it doesn't seem like she can catch steam. She doesn't seem like she could have turned out voters this time around. Eric Adams is still at 11%. Breaking news, the third round vote count has ended, and we now have the results from the third round of the ranked choice voting. Andrew Yang is now the front runner at 39%. Diane Morales is now at 30%. She is in second, and Sean Donovan has dropped from first to last. He's at 24%. This is not a good look, and he will be eliminated in the fourth round, in the final round, unless neither candidate breaks 50%. Breaking news: we can now make a major call out of the New York City mayoral Democratic primary, and Andrew Yang is the projected winner. He has broken 50%. He has 54% to Diane Morales' 45%. Andrew Yang was polling at third and fourth, and sometimes even second in the polls, but he was never the first place pick, I guess you could say, in the polls. A dark horse, to be sure. A lot of people wrote this guy off and considered him a joke candidate, but he came in there, had a good showing in the second and third debates, and he is now the New York City mayoral Democratic nominee. This is shocking. Breaking news: Bill Pepitone and Andrew Yang win their respective party nominations. I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoy this video. The next video will cover where we left off, all the way up till the day before the election. So I hope you guys enjoy that. This is the Catacon saying peace.